All Gigafactory progress side by side for the final week of February. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. Giga Shanghai. The steel structure in the northeast corner is coming along nicely, with significantly more steelwork complete, especially on the roof. A significant amount of roof covering has been installed as well, and a lot more of the floor work has been completed, as you can see as you peer inside. This week, there was a new land acquisition announced near the site, and we'll try to cover that some more in depth later this week, perhaps in the news roundup, but I'm very curious to hear what you guys think is going to be built over at this non-adjacent site. It's like one site over to the southwest, and is it going to be Model 2? Is it going to be batteries? What do you guys think? I apologize for the lateness of the video this week, but I am battling computer gremlins, and I'm gonna get them. It'll be fine. The steel structure to the north of the Phase 2 building has a lot more roof trusses, and work to paint the steel is well underway. The large stamping pit between Phase 1 and the battery building is also coming along nicely. These deep foundations are necessary to handle the weight of the stamping presses. The addition of this new space for stamping indicates an intention to continue expanding production capacity, as stamping can be a bottleneck. The sliver along the southeast corner has seen reasonable progress. In the northern part of it, the footings have been almost entirely dug out, with many already having forms for the imminent pouring of concrete. At the bottom, you can see more land clearing and grading going on to the east in the former melon farm, which we currently believe will be for vehicle storage or logistics, since there hasn't been any piling work to allow for heavy construction of things like buildings. Giga Berlin. With so much of the exterior complete, the bulk of the work is focused on interior completion, but there's still an awful lot to see out here. A lot more finished exterior wall panels are up, and there are a lot more windows too. The roof is closing off nicely, and more of the fire escapes have been completed, or at least progressed forward towards completion. Still not much sign of interior concrete work on this far south end, the front of the building if you will, but it's surely coming soon. The batch plant can only work so quickly. The roof over the southwest corner is essentially done, and the entryway may now be taking shape. At one point, it appeared it would be sealed off, and although two large concrete panels remain, which could be used to seal it off, it doesn't look like they'll be used. So access to the interior may be preserved at this corner. This would make a great entryway. I mean, come on. Tobias Lindh, who's been gracious enough to allow use of his footage, has caught the beginning of construction on a whole new structure next to the Motorworks building. perhaps a warehouse or battery construction space, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think it'll be in the comments, because I'm awfully curious. If you like these kinds of videos, consider subscribing, since it's the only way YouTube knows that these are the sorts of videos that you're interested in, and it would really help out the channel. The concrete cathedral in the central part of the building has also seen some progress, though not quite as much as other parts of the site. Giga Texas. There's a new loading platform at the front of the building, and you can see a lot more concrete has been poured on the roof of the concrete casting cathedral, with a lot more rebar already in place, awaiting another pour forthwith. The last section separating these two structures has been framed in along the eastern edge, and a fair amount of new roof material has been added to both sides of the building. Moving south, we can see the gaps between this central building and the concrete stamping cathedral has been fully connected, and the roof has about double the amount of concrete since last week, with a lot of concrete wall panels also now in place. Inside, you can see a lot of concrete flooring has been finished, and installation of the bridge crane rails has continued, as well as the hanging of supports for HVAC ductwork. A quick thank you to my Patreons who get bonus material, early access, and help keep the channel running for as little as $1 a month. You guys really do keep me going, and I thank you sincerely. On the west side of the concrete stamping cathedral, we can also see more concrete wall panels are up, providing the first truly dry areas on the site. If you're following my weekly Giga Texas completion percentage tracker series, which you should, this will hopefully be out by the end of today. You'll see we're finally able to start counting that in the numbers, sort of, you know, the dry interior. From this vantage, we can better see how the steel and concrete structures have joined together. Foundation and footing work in the southwest prairie has resumed, and we should expect to see the steel stampeding south through this area shortly. The small steel structure has resumed its growth, roughly doubling in size, with a lot of steel delivered on site awaiting installation. More steelwork has squared off the southern end of the larger building on the southeast corner of this structure. While it's tough to see, the corridor separating the two halves is slowly closing in, and they've begun foundation work in there. There are more roof panels in this area as well, and a lot of work taking place inside on the floors. In the northwest corner, there's yet more gravel for geopier work, and the sheer quantity of them going in here is a bit shocking. In the northeast corner, they had used cementitious piers, which is where concrete is pumped underground, and this corner, which was similarly former swampland, doesn't have that. So it looks like they've opted instead to just use a mind-boggling number of geopiers in its place. We can see rebar for footing being assembled in this area, indicating there will soon be footing work taking place. And as I'm recording this, I just saw a new video from Randy at Tesla Terrafactory, and it is in fact taking place. Giga Texas extends to the other side of the highway, where crews have been grading a piece of land, but for what, we don't yet know. So let's hear it in the comments. What's it gonna be? Cybertruck fabrication? Offices? Battery material refinement? Stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots, and maybe someday even in person.